You have a packet of 8 cards, just 8 cards, and any card can be named out loud. It doesn't make any difference which one is selected. It's a free choice. Let's say they pick the 6 of diamonds. Well, then you explain it's interesting that you named the 6. You could have said the queen or the 8 or the 7 or the 5, the ace or the 10, or even the jack of spades, which is my personal favorite. But for some reason, out of all of these cards you could have selected, you picked the 6 of diamonds. That's the only card with a different colored back. Now, maybe you think I got lucky. So I'm prepared. I will repeat the illusion. I was so sure you were going to pick the only red-backed card is I brought an extra one with me. I'm going to place that into the packet so that nobody knows where it is in the group. I'll shuffle them up a little bit. In fact, would you help me out again? This time, instead of just naming a card, name any number from 1 to 8, of course. So they name a number. Let's say they say 5. All you do is you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That leaves the jack of spades on the face of the packet. So that's the card that goes aside. Remember, you could have had any of these cards. You could have ended up with the 2 of diamonds or the 8 of spades or the queen of diamonds and the 7 of clubs, the 5 or the ace. In fact, any of these, for some reason, all of these have turned into red. And once again, you have the one card with a different colored back. That's using the Olaram subtlety. The secret here is you have 4 of each. And that's the setup. In the envelope, there's 2 extra cards, one red-backed, one blue-backed. They go inside. I have the red back on top, the blue back on the bottom. So when you bring out these cards, it doesn't make any difference which card is named. Let's say they pick the queen. Cut the packet at that point. Now, if you do that, the colors are still alternated. Just to make it easier for me, all of the blue-backed cards are black-faced cards, and all of the red-backed cards are red cards, diamonds and hearts. So that way I can always make sure that the colors are alternated from underneath because they're alternated from above. So whenever a card is named, you cut it to the face of the packet, you place it aside. That means the top and the bottom colors will be the same. In this case, they'll both be blue backs. Here's the Olaram subtlety. You take off the top card into the right hand, turn both hands over. So you're actually showing the bottom of the entire packet of cards. So make sure they're well squared. Turn both hands over and expose as much of the card as you can. Sometimes I see people do the Olaram subtlety like this, and you can hardly see anything. Be very open and fair about it. Push the card over. In fact, I readjust the packet like this so I can show almost everything. Turn them face up again, and when you lay them down, this is a Paul Stereos touch. You lay them down jogged. This is a nice touch by Paul Stereos. Like this again. The third group, and the last card, the single card, you use it as a scoop to scoop up all the cards. Now, the reason for doing this out jog, in jog idea is so when you flip the whole packet over, you can casually square up the packet like this. That gives a lot more flashing of the blue-backed cards. Then, because you use the last card as a scoop, that puts 2 of the same colored back together, so you can deal off the one card, use it to flip over the tabled card, and that's the first surprise. Now, after you expose this card, this one goes on the bottom. See what that does? It puts them back alternated. If you put it on the top, that would mess up your alternation. So put it on the bottom, put the tabled packet right here. Say, I was so sure you were going to pick a red-backed card as I brought an extra one with me. Of course, if they would have picked the only blue-backed card for the repeat, you would have taken out the blue-backed card. But it's red in this case, so you take the uppermost of the 2. You say, I'm so sure you were going to pick the red card. I brought an extra one. Let's repeat the illusion. Now, give the impression that you're just placing this randomly somewhere into the packet. Actually, you just stick it onto the bottom. By doing this, of course, all of the colors are alternated once again. Now you turn them face up, and what you'd like to do here, because the first time they picked a red-backed card, the second time you'd like them to end up with a blue-backed card, which means one of the black cards. To do that, it doesn't matter if they cut, it doesn't matter if you do a Charlier shuffle, anything, as long as the colors are still alternated like this. So what I would do is I'd say name any number from 1 to 8. Doesn't matter what number they name, you count to that number, taking cards one at a time. Let's say they say 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Either the black card is going to be here, or it's going to be here. If it's here, you say, okay, card number 4, that's the one we're going to use. If it's there, you say, okay, we'll take 4 cards. That leaves the 7 of clubs on the face of the packet, so we'll put it right there. Either way, by having them count to a number, you will end up with a black card. That's a card with a blue back. Now, you have to make sure that the colors are alternated again, so when you put them together, you just cut the packet at that point. They're alternated, you're ready for the surprise finish. Just like the aces with the frustration count, it's probably better to show this first. Say, remember, I was so sure you were going to pick the one card with the different colored back. It looks like you missed. That's okay, I'm a magician. All I have to do is snap my fingers and look. These turn into red, these turn into red, these turn into red. In fact, this one's a red card. So once again, you did end up with the only card with the different colored back.